And hopefully everybody who's not here will join us shortly. Judy, would you like to do roll call?
Sure. Chair Gardner,
Here.
Vice Chair Rockus?
Did she call?
She probably won't.
No, I
hard
haven't
for her.
received a call or a
Okay.
message.
She was probably the only one who couldn't make this time because she works. Yeah.
Member Larson?
Here.
Member Joseph?
Here.
And Meryl's excused.
Okay, now is that the printout of our agenda? Today, okay.
Do you guys need?
I think
I
it's just the standard, which is approval of the minutes and then our forwarding of our regular agenda. And did you have a chance to look at the minutes? I think they're pretty basic, straightforward.
Yeah, I did look.
Do I hear a motion to approve? Does anybody have any comments or?
I so approve I so move to approve the meeting.
Okay, do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, these are unanimously approved. And it says Chair Gardner will draft the criteria for application of exhibitor reviews. So, let's just get started with our regular agenda, which is planning, continuation of the planning of the Earth Action Fair. And with respect to exhibitor applications, which I think everybody knows, that was done and those were posted on the website and they're sent out, and I'm going to go through my list of who has been contacted and where things stand on that. So, I might have missed some because I don't know, has the town received any responses or applications back from anybody?
No applications, no.
Okay, so you should be receiving one with $1,000 check from Cobalt. They are for sure a yes, and I found out it was mailed to you, and they put in some literature, so it might be a bigger pack that arrives. But I haven't heard of anybody else sending it. The high energy home audit, Steve and Lisa Schmidt said their model has moved from direct to residents to direct to town, so they don't think they have a direct resident thing. So they're a no. We heard back from Tesla, and Tesla is very interested, and I'm meeting with her this week. So she was finishing up her Earth Day events. They had a bunch of Earth Day appearances last week, so we're meeting this week. And then I have a request into Silicon Valley Bike Coalition. The CCAC was contacted. Steve, who's the chair of that, the invitation's been forwarded to him. I have not heard back from him. I heard back from the Oklo advanced nuclear startup that's based in Sunnyvale, I think, and they are interested. We'll be meeting or talking this week to, I think they're looking at doing something like a home generator that's a home nuclear generator. Is that lovely? I think that's cool. Then Clean Coalition has been contacted. I haven't heard back from them. Peninsula Clean Energy, which is a community choice group, is a yes. Yay! I think they're going to be there. Actera was contacted. They are a yes. I contacted the Clean Bottle group, which makes those water bottles that have the top and the bottom that you can scrub. The Clean Bottle was founded by a group that's based in Woodside, and they have used up their sponsorship budget for this year, but they might appear and bring their bottles to sell at their discounted price. So the town of Atherton would get a discount rather than them paying a sponsorship, which I thought was a fair exchange. So we're in discussions on that. I think they're a yes. Hello, welcome.
Hi. Elizabeth's unable to attend.
Okay.
Thank you for starting.
So they will perhaps come.
They will perhaps come with a table, or they will allow us to sell bottles.
I think they should.
That would be great, and we either will sell them without them, and maybe just have their literature there, or maybe they will be there too.
Okay.
I couldn't tell when she said that they used up their sponsorship budget, whether that meant they don't have the staff allocation or just the resources to pay the sponsorship fee, but if they're giving us a discount, I think that is a good substitute for a sponsor fee, so, since we're pretty flexible on that. But I do think we're working on a $6,000 budget now, cause I'm pretty sure we have $1,000 coming in from Cobalt. Did you manage to contact your?
I did, but I haven't heard back.
Okay. So I've also contacted My Earthbound Home, which is an architect, Spectrum Fine Homes, which is a kind of sustainable decorator. There's the Bike to Work group, and then some native garden groups called Fine Gardens and the Village Gardener, who both do native garden systems. So they've been contacted, but I don't know if, have not heard back. I had a very rough week last week, so I didn't get to do as much as I had hoped. But we did get, final ones are Sunworks, which is a local group that trains students and other groups to install solar panels, which I think is a pretty cool group. And then there's the student
They're a
conservation.
yes?
What?
They're a yes?
I haven't heard back.
Okay.
These were all contacts that I made last week. And then Student Conservation Association, who, I thought having them might be very cool if we have students. They are a student group that tries to do conservation things, and if we're having students, appear for the student challenge, that there might be other kids around, and that would be more interesting for the kids. So,
Is that the one out in the Baylands? In Palo Alto?
that might be. I'm not sure where they're based. And Actera has a really interesting exhibit where they bring their LED lights and their fluorescent lights, and I think they have incandescent lights, and they compare them and show homeowners what the difference of power is and how the light intensity compares. So it's a pretty cool exhibit, and so that I'm hoping they will be there.
The Student Conservation Association, are they pending, or are they?
They're pending.
Okay.
It's a pending. And I still have not gotten, I think you're gonna put forward to me the name of a geothermal group, sort of still looking to get that.
And did, there's the, emergency response people, are
Oh,
they coming?
I did not contact them, emergency response people, so that's one of the ones I still need to contact. I know who that is, that's,
Can't remember his name.
yeah, I have his name.
Talking about CERT?
Yes.
No,
Well.
I was talking about, what was it? It was not CERT, it was, the local group that has ADAPT. That's the one I was thinking of. What is CERT? Is
Oh,
CERT what we
CERT.
should?
That's the community emergency response team.
Yeah.
So, I don't wanna replicate other
But it's the
events that
same,
you
it's,
have.
it's all tied together.
Is it all tied together?
It's all
Yeah.
tied together.
Which one is better for us, ADAPT or CERT?
Well, ADAPT will get a hold of CERT and all that, so they're
So
all
I will
together.
contact the ADAPT guy who I know, and I will get him my list, cause he and I have been in touch over the recent years, I don't know. Okay, so let me write that down, ADAPT.
And did we ever find a chicken person?
So,
Beef person?
it was on my agenda to contact them. Elizabeth forwarded me some names of face painters and
Oh, good.
balloon people, so I will make some inquiries with them. They were at the Easter egg. She got the list from the Easter egg event to see if any of those groups we want, and I will continue to work. This week should be better for me. I have wrapped up a project as of last week, so I'm now down to just 2 things.
I've got an easy one for you.
Oh, good.
How about Cal Water?
We got them.
Yeah.
Well, that's one
I didn't
that I
see
was
that.
hoping you have contacted, and have they said yes?
I'm not sure if they've said yes from Cal Water, but I believe it was PG&E, Hero, Recology are all yeses. I'll double check on Cal Water.
PG&E is a yes?
I do believe so, yeah.
Oh, that's good,
Will you check on that, just confirm?
Yeah, I'll check on the
'Cause
ones
I-
that Teresa contacted and confirm with them.
cause last time they weren't able to.
Yeah, so I'm working on Recology to bring a truck, and have like a way that, maybe a video of the arms moving. I was trying to have it so that the kids could go up into the truck and move the arm, but that's a little too, risky. But
That requires insurance.
that requires insurance. Well, I'm sure they have insurance, but we're trying to work out a way that we can have them at least sit in the truck
Some sort of interaction.
and just see what it looks like inside the truck and see all the knobs and the buttons. I just had my 14-year-old nephew with me, and all we did was go around the house looking for every button and every push and every, blinking light.
14-year-old?
14-month
Oh.
old. That was
Oh.
my weekend was babysitting my cousin, a 14-month-old, and I literally have pushed every button in our house like 100 times with him, which was really interesting, especially when it came to the running machine. I was like, woohoo! Okay, so we're working on that, and I think that would be pretty interesting for kids if we can do that. I think that would be more exciting than Tesla for the kids, if we can get that to happen.
Well, are we having Recology do anything?
I've also asked if they would bring their collection bins, not for electronic waste, because that's too big, but for toxic things, like batteries and bulbs. If people could bring their little baggie of used batteries, that would be a win, because then they could explain the collection for that stuff. I think that stuff is the most confusing part of the whole collection thing. So that would be nice if they would bring a little thing you could drop in your baggie of batteries or bulbs. Is there anything else? I don't want the people to bring paint or anything like that, but just,
I know we discussed.
It's actually a good draw to get people to go.
yeah, I agree.
I got a bag of batteries, I'll go down there and check out the.
I'm gonna go,
batteries.
or maybe we could have them bring like their medical waste. That would also be another.
Well,
thing.
that's big, that's a little bigger.
No, they do
No.
not.
I don't think Recology does medical, but that's
They
a
go to
big
the police
need.
department.
Who does the medical?
You have to go
Well,
to
we
the
used to
police
have a
department.
box here, but it was
Yeah.
so busy. I mean,
I know,
we
I
were
used-
spending 2 days a week shipping this stuff
Right.
with a police officer.
Now we send people
And
to.
people, we'd open it up and there was stuff spilled in there, and it was so, the county center does it now as the nearest collection box.
So maybe that's
But
a,
it's-
You can get bags from them, you
Who?
buy them, Pharmaca.
okay.
That would be a good way to get people to come, would be to advertise that you can get
Right.
rid of your medical waste
Right,
that
I would
day.
like to do that.
If you.
But who collects it? Because I'd like to have whoever
well,
collects it
if
to
you
be there.
take- If you take.
San
it-
Mateo County.
Yeah.
St.
Environmental
Carlos
health.
Police Department.
I'm sure I
Right.
can.
Is San Mateo County is gonna be here, right? So could they have a collection bin? for
Environmental
everyone?
health,
Yeah.
They would at least know who
Yeah.
to contact.
It's San Carlos
Matt
Police
Fabry?
Department.
No, yeah, it'd be Matt.
Okay, that would be great if we could have them do medical waste collection, and Recology will do batteries and bulbs.
Who's coming from the county? There's
Are they
sustainability
doing
kind
any
of
kind
thing.
of,
Who's from the county coming? Like a sustainability department or
So it
something?
was the sustainability group, I think
Yeah,
it's
so that's a
Sustainable San
completely
Mateo,
different group then.
I'll
Sustainable.
still check with the
Still
county.
check, yeah,
Yeah.
So
okay.
check with them, see if they can handle it.
Yeah.
Maybe they just take a bin and drop it off to the right group, you don't have to have two groups there, but that would be a great thing if we could get medical waste.
okay, also in the newspaper, do we want
Michael Killen?
Michael Killen to come with his art?
I would be delighted for you to invite him,
Well, I don't
whether
know.
whether he
Whether
wants
he
to,
comes.
whether
But
he,
he's doing an energy summit over at Stanford, he's done it for the last 4 years.
Chickens?
It's just
He takes his paint.
it might be small for him to do, but maybe he'd like to bring some. I mean,
Well, I just thought of one,
yeah,
and just explain
Right,
it.
great, okay.
Okay,
Yes, definitely invite him. Let's include
or
Michael.
anyone else that's doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah. He's the only one I know, but, that's,
Did you mention Cobalt Power Systems?
did you get the
We have it.
response? Good.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I knew he was sending that and you got a check.
We have a check.
So now we're operating on a $6,000 budget, right?
Well, that's $1,000,
Right. So,
so that's good, yeah.
yeah, so that will go towards our,
Do you wanna
Overhead.
this packet, maybe scan the info?
So,
Valerie,
can
maybe
you,
check.
can you not deposit the check until we actually get enough critical mass that I mean, I think one of the things we need to discuss is, if we don't have critical mass, at what point would we decide not to do this? But I think we're getting close to critical mass, so I think on exhibitors, I think we have enough to have an event. Do you think?
I've got, for sure 3 confirmed, right? And
So we
then,
have Cal Water confirmed,
well, I
PG&E
think you're
confirmed?
guessing on that.
Cal Water, I've gotta check, but I believe PG&E is confirmed, the Hero Group is confirmed.
Recology.
Who is the Hero Group?
They were a group that Teresa had mentioned at our last meeting that she reached out to. So again, I'd have to check with her to see.
Okay. And we have San Mateo County for sure. Sustainability.
I'm sure ADAPT is gonna do it.
And
Recology
probably-
confirmed,
You know-
right?
Recology.
Did they confirm?
Recology.
Mm-hmm, I have.
Yeah, Cobalt,
PG&E,
Actera,
Recology and Hero.
Peninsula Clean Energy.
Alright, so I think we have a critical
So
mass
yeah,
of
6.
exhibitors to make this thing happen. Thing that I'm now worried about is the student challenge. Have we heard anything back from anybody? Okay. Cause that kinda got out a little late and, we now have, so just to recap where that is, the big push last week was getting the flyers, the posters, and I printed up a sample, student information thing, which is 5 pages, and the student application form, and I wrote sample on them, so each school has a, turns out there's actually, of our 10 schools, there's actually 12 schools, and the first school I went to, who I wanted to give 1 poster and 2 flyers, and no samples, they said, oh, I need at least, well, they said the last event that we tried to get students to get involved in, they hung 60 flyers. So I ended up leaving him 6 flyers and 2 posters, which is not a lot, but was better. And then I gave him the sample thing so he could see what the students were getting involved with. And proceeded to do another print run and distribute it to 12 schools because both at Menlo School and at Sacred Heart they told me to go to 2 places. So I ended up doing another run. But everything got distributed, and now I have a much longer list of contacts which I need to put together for you, and I'll circulate that. I have many more names to add to our list, and I will send them an email to confirm that they got material and they have what they think is enough. So everybody wanted the materials, they liked the posters, they said, oh yeah, we're gonna hang these up, we'll send them around, but it was like there were spring things happening, there was MA just had their own student environmental day. Actually, it was 45-minute fair that they had. They literally set up booths for 45 minutes, and Recology was there, PG&E was there, a bunch of like Actera was there, the student group was there. I got some names from Lance in terms of groups that came and did something really nice. So, so every school is busy, and I'm a little worried that we may not get many, if any, student things.
It's kind of, I know my son graduates from college that weekend, so I don't know, I mean, he's
May
up.
22nd?
Yeah, I mean, it's that time of the year,
Yeah, it's
right?
that time
The
of year.
graduations are
Well, in
happening.
fact, I went to Menlo College, and Menlo College is already out of session as of like May 15th or something.
Okay.
So they're not even in session. So Menlo College is out. They're not even in session. She said, don't even bother, nobody's here. So Menlo College. So this is, I think it will diminish what my vision is of the event, but I don't think it means that we don't have to do it. We'll still have a lot of other stuff. So if we don't get any students applying, I think what we need to decide is there some number of students like below which we won't run a competition? Like if we only get 2 students who apply, or 4 students, I mean, I don't know that I wanna have, well, we could have 4 students exhibiting and give out 4 awards, that would be fine, okay. Well, we'll figure that out. And then Janet and I, subcommittee of 2 on food and entertainment met, and Janet is an amazing baker. I love baking, and I have a professional size tray that I make very mean butterscotch brownies. And we've decided that the connections that we have within the community would be interested in volunteering to bake and donate baked goods, so we could have home baked goods as another attraction for residents and raise a little more money for the program so that we can engage more residents in something that they can wrap their arms around and do without a big commitment, but make them feel like it's a community event. It's very homey, and it'll be much more yummy than if we had like snack things. So we wanted to minimize waste, so instead of having snack packages and health bars with wrappers and all sorts of garbage, we're having thermoses with water, and we have to figure out whether or not the town has some good large thermoses. You're raising your eyebrows.
Thermoses?
You know, the big-
large.
You mean the pump containers, the like for coffee?
No, big water
For
thermoses.
water.
Oh,
Jugs.
oh,
They throw,
water
they
jugs.
throw all over their coaches.
No,
So we're
because we
gonna,
don't have staff anymore that use them.
Those are the big.
Those big Gatorade things.
Yeah.
big Gatorade things, we're gonna probably borrow them from people who have them or buy a couple that we might buy a couple.
Might have.
I know I have two already, so we're gonna, and also the clean bottles will then be used by people who will sell the clean bottles and they can refill, or we'll have the little water cups, like the very low impact, thin paper cups.
We don't have any in the emergency trailer.
There may be some around like that, yeah,
Yeah.
in the OC, there might be,
Yeah.
I don't know, but I don't know if we should be
Will
using
you
them.
take a look and see, cause that, if you have any, that'll help.
Yeah,
Because they gotta be clean.
right.
So just, is there any problem with us creating a Sign Up Genie web page for all the volunteer slots that we have? Because we're gonna have baking slots and we're gonna have selling, like some time slots, you know, maybe an hour. We have a 4-hour window, so we'll have 4 time slots, people can sign up to sell for an hour.
I can probably create something.
No, I don't need you to create it, I just wanna know, is there any problem with the
Oh.
food subcommittee having a sign up web thing, so we can
Or just people to work.
get people to volunteer for the shifts?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no issue with that.
Okay, alright. Okay, anything else from the food meeting?
No, well, the popcorn.
So we wanted popcorn, we wanted also to have some fresh fruit. So we might do a little purchase of oranges or apples or bananas or something to also sell. So we're gonna have like a zero waste food thing with just home baked things, maybe a few napkins and plates, but fresh fruit, no water bottles, but jugs of water, and what was the rest of it? Oh, popcorn.
Popcorn.
And I think Elizabeth's list had a popcorn
I think she does.
Yes, sir.
vendor, yeah, so we'll sell popcorn. Any other ideas for us? I mean, have you seen anything else that was good at events that were zero waste?
Yeah, with our events, there's always,
Not in country?
They have stuff in India where you eat on a banana leaf, so everything's biodegradable.
That's so cool.
Fun.
Did you bring home any banana leaves?
No, I'm sorry. But I could get them for you. If you go to an Indian store, if you were really committed.
Well, that would be one way to do it, actually. I mean, but I don't think we're gonna
Kinda
serve lunch.
messy, yeah.
We're 1
Yeah,
to
I know,
5.
I
I'm
understand.
so happy that it's not lunch and it's not dinner. I'm like, just snacks.
Yeah.
Fine. So fruit.
Maybe in future.
Oh, we are gonna have we're gonna like buy a couple cases of iced tea or fruit drink or maybe Gatorade just for those people who don't want water. And that would be in recyclable bottles. And I think that's our biggest concession to waste. What do you think?
Yeah.
That's the plan.
perfect.
Okay.
Can I ask a question from last time we had talked about Teresa was gonna do that e-waste?
Yeah, it doesn't look like they were available that weekend, and that's why specifically that so far.
Okay.
Could
It would be
but-
nice if it could have
I
come
know.
along. I know, just for extra bodies
Yeah, they
to
got all
come.
booked up,
I understand it is hard to get them.
yeah. Surprisingly
We
hard.
also talked about a gray water vendor or a gray water, someone to tell about that.
Right.
Did we find out about if they're coming?
Do you have a gray water reference in the building department? Somebody who does gray water?
I don't know.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna add that to my list just to make sure, but
That one hasn't really caught on yet.
How about if we
Yeah, that
ask
one's
Ross?
tricky.
yeah, that's a good idea.
There's a guy that, I don't know if he's still in business, but he had, during the drought, he had a water truck and he was going over to the treatment plant and getting water and then bringing it over to your lawn and just soaking it like once a month so that you use recycled water.
Yeah, I had a note here, Ross Cummings.
Is that his name?
Conningstein.
Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah, gray
not-
water system.
Oh, Ross, yeah.
No,
This
this
is a
is-
separate company. It's like,
Oh, okay.
I have to look up the name of the company.
I didn't get to do too much more outreach last week because it was a rough week,
You
but
know, people would be interested in that, I think.
Mm-hmm. Let me see if I can find his name. I talked to him a while ago.
What would you want this person to do for the gray water? Just come in
Well, if
for a
they had-
demonstration?
Oh, I'm saying this guy could be more of a vendor because it's
Mhm.
a business.
Right.
And he's just bringing water and dumping it, so you don't have to use cal water.
Mm-hmm.
But if we could find someone to demonstrate a gray water system, or is that what you're looking for?
So they might have like some poster boards on how the gray water system can be retrofitted into your house, but it's a service that allows you to link your washing machine or your sinks directly to your irrigation system, or maybe a barrel that you then connect to your irrigation
When
system.
Ross had an open house at
Mhm.
his house, when it was just first built, he had, a vendor there, and they explained it to everybody, and poster boards, so.
Yeah, I think Ross would be a good reference, and I'll do some more research on it. We should be able to find somebody, because it is taking off. It's may not be that big here, but it's starting to happen. Palo Alto especially. So the Tesla sounds like it's a yes. She and I are talking, Melissa and I are talking on Wednesday morning. So were you gonna talk about what kind of test drive route, or you asked Steve to come here?
No, I just wanted Steve here more from a logistics standpoint, because we're 3 weeks out, and we might
Right.
want to talk
Yeah, I
about
kinda wanted to know
where
what the
tables
plan
and
is
chairs are
for,
going and what bathrooms we're using.
for
and just kinda
setting up. Do you need
logistics. Yeah.
staff? What parts of the park are you using? Do we need to cancel some event? Yeah, or not cancel events,
I think
but
we've
not sell
reserved the
events for
park.
that weekend?
Right.
Julie already knows about the day of the event and knows the
You know,
size of it, so
But we need
hopefully
to know
they're
if we
already-
need staff there to
Right.
set up tables and stuff, because we
do you have a banner going up yet?
we can.
We were told we don't have, that we can't do a banner.
Oh, you guys
Oh.
didn't make the, you didn't get in the queue?
Yeah. Martian Meadowfield's totally booked, Santa Cruz on both sides, it's completely
Oh my
booked
gosh.
Really?
till September.
If you'd like to get a small one, we could put it up at the entrance in the park.
So if I got my neighbor to agree to hang a banner on their wall on Fair Oaks Lane, we could create a banner, and could we post it anywhere? You can't do that. It's not allowed to just have that.
No, you have certain free speech rights.
Yeah.
But you should not be advertising on your property for events.
For an event.
Yeah.
How about across the street on McCormick Lane, just, like hang it so that people driving
I don't
along.
have any other poles
I
to
don't
do
think
that.
that would go over very well.
Yeah. You could do it on the park fence, I think is what you
Yeah,
I
the
think,
park, we can
next-
do it on the park fence and we can
But
do
you
it at
gotta
the entrance of
identify
the
a
park.
date next year, get in the queue, and then,
Yeah.
Mhm.
kinda, but I could put a couple up, when you drive into the park and you make that first left turn when you come in,
There's
to
that
the
little
left
area.
there, we, on occasion, put a banner up there.
Okay.
6-8 foot banner that just says, hey, Earth Day's gonna be on this day, all the people that come in daily for Little League
That
and
would be
Yeah.
good.
tennis can drive by it and see it, and they
Preschool.
might go.
So we need a 16-foot banner, or?
How big
No,
is
it is a
smaller.
4x6, I think is what fits there, might even
Not
3
even
by
4,
6.
yeah, like 3x6, 3x8, we could probably put it.
3x8, okay. So
I
that
would
does,
do 3x6. I
Three-
think 8 is gonna be too long.
Yeah, we'll get something, we
Yeah.
can make it work. 3x6 would be optimum.
How long is this queue generally?
Excuse me?
How long is the queue generally for the next time we have to do something?
Generally, when people put them up for an event that's like every year, they go right back in and they put in the request for the next year.
This is the first time, this is probably the busiest banner year I've seen in the last 4 years. I've never had to turn people away before for banners.
Because we can squeeze sometimes 2 up.
We and they're booked
She's
double.
already looked into
They're
that.
already booked
Oh,
up.
yeah.
can get 3 up for a town event? For a
The
town event?
town has tasked us with the event. The city council said, hey, guys, this is.
Yeah, it's like, they don't want us to have an event and nobody show up.
Well, we're not gonna
We can't
tell
bump
somebody they
somebody
can't
out.
have it
Yeah.
at this
Already
point.
has
But we can't add a third one?
No, not at the space that
There's
we
no
have
room.
over there. Mm-mm. Because it's a 25 in length and we've got 2 banners that are 12 feet each.
How about if we use an extra pair of wires and go,
We can't go longer because of
That's gonna go under.
because the 25 feet is what we have between
one
the
pole?
foliage and the foliage, so to speak. Like what we have already on that street, we've made it as big as we can.
Mm.
And we can't drop it down because then you're encroaching on someone's property.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's not we can do 2 in 1 and we can't go longer. So,
Mm.
Park it is.
and I think that's kind of like the best bet. I mean, we want you know, I
We
mean,
need something.
we've got a lot of traffic in that park. Between the preschool, all the classes,
Yeah.
all the events that Julie books.
Yeah, but we kind of want high school. So, so this does raise the question of, we had that wonderful set of flyers and posters, that went up. So everybody knows, let's see, these were our posters, our large posters, which I think pretty
Yeah.
good sized ones. And then these were our flyers, I guess, for some of the larger fonts.
Where are they going up besides the schools?
Well, that's it. These were just
Oh.
student challenge things. Now I think we need to create a flyer for the fair. We need a fair flyer, and it should probably resemble these, so not be too different, but not necessarily exactly the same. Like, we should probably get the students out, or maybe we want to put the students in and just make this Earth Day event. So maybe we want to change this to Earth Day. You want to try and
Sure.
design something that could be a marketing outreach for the Earth Day event, and it it should have, I mean, I guess student environmental challenge could be listed as one of the things, but there's gonna be entertainment, there's gonna be expo, there's gonna be snacks, music, have a good time kind of thing.
Just a suggestion, we're a little less than 3 weeks out, right? So, and I don't know how you're gonna, by the time you design it and get it out, how much work, but I think you were going along a really good line when you talked about getting people to come, having the medical waste, getting people to come, having the batteries. I can see if I can arrange a mulch giveaway that day. That
Oh, that would be
usually
great.
brings people in. And once again, have the mulch, come and get your mulch and enjoy Earth Day event at the same
Yeah.
time. You
That would
can
be
play
helpful.
on those things. People that normally wouldn't go say, "Oh, I can get rid of my batteries, my medicine, and go to this Earth Day, walk through it." That might be a really good angle to go. And on our website, throwing that out with news flashes, and we haven't had one in a while, a
So are
mulch
we-
giveaway.
Positive on the Recology battery?
No, we're not.
No,
I
no.
proposed that,
Recology
and they
also
actually
has,
offered to do mulch,
mulch.
and I
Well,
said,
that's what I'll do.
no.
I'll see if I can get some. And even if I can't, we've got some mulch that we collect from local tree people that we get them if they give us good mulch, we let them drop it here. And I've got enough to make a pretty good pile over there for a giveaway, even though it's not. They blend their mulch.
How do you give it away? Do you have bags, or do people come with their own buckets?
People come
usually
with their
come
own
garbage cans.
garbage cans, and they fill them up and put them in their cars, or they come and pick up. They'll send their gardener sometimes, and they'll get and we just kind of we set up in the park where the kind of the debris area is now, and we'll set a vehicle up over there, or a pile up over there, and we give it away till it's gone. And
So I
you
think we probably want to have a good list of all the things that are going to be features,
Exactly.
like batteries and mulch, or I think mulch seems to be one that we do enough that I wasn't thinking that would attract a lot of people, but if you do,
it's a draw.
is it a draw?
It's a draw.
Okay. I
And
think
once
they're
again,
open.
if you wanted to do it, I just think you're going along a pretty good line there, getting people to come for other reasons that are Earth Day reasons. I mean, hey, you're coming to get mulch.
Oh, there's
obviously,
another
or
one. You
pepper
How
have-
about a
garden.
shredder?
The shred event, I think, takes a little more
Yeah,
time
and
to
that's
set
the one
up.
we weren't able to move, we were checking on that.
Yeah, and I don't even know if I get the mulch. I'm just, because like I said,
Mhm.
we're getting kind of close
Right.
now. But it might, even the batteries and the other thing, we really got to do some crunching in the next day or two.
And that's the thing, I can try and hammer down the medical drop off.
Yeah, that'd be great.
But that's going to be tough too.
Let's hope not.
It's
Let's hope it's
I mean, we
easy.
could always get a big garbage bin and let people drop stuff in, and then somebody just delivers it, but we know the
On the
place.
You mean medical?
Yeah.
No,
You
it
guys
has to
No,
be
no,
secure.
that's got to be
Yeah.
secured.
Really?
And that's,
Otherwise someone's gonna take stuff out.
you wouldn't
Yeah.
believe the stuff that goes
Promise
in
you.
there.
Yeah.
Opiates and
Yeah, it's gotta
gotta
be
be
secure
secure.
job.
Really?
Yeah, syringes.
In my experience, I tried
Yes.
to drop things
Yeah.
off at the police department, I got sent 5 different places, of which no one took my stuff.
Wow.
Well, also,
Hard.
Stanford
That's
Hospital will take it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they probably have a
They may have
professional.
Yeah, see, our only issue is how do we get them to bring their containers here
Yeah,
and
okay.
then
Locked and
bring them
secure.
back to Sanford.
Yeah.
So I'll contact the county and see,
Okay.
because I know that they have a program, because
They
that's
do,
where I
yeah.
send people since we no longer have.
Before you
that program
and I
forget,
don't know if they still do the mercury thermometers and all that stuff.
yeah, mercury thermometers would be another one. That's, I don't think, has
Like I
to
say,
be
those
secure.
usually have to get ordered and then you get the exchange.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Those are
I
smaller
just, you
boxes.
know, those are all good things to draw people without having to come just to see Earth Day.
Okay, but
Come
that's a
for other
lot of
reasons.
things to put in a flyer, so we just need to have that stuff up on the web and then promote it and tell people you can drop this and drop that and
Pick up some mulch.
mulch, mercury.
Pick up your
Yeah,
mulch.
so if you
drop
can
off
check
your-
on mulch this week, let me know if it's a for sure.
Yeah, well, I've got today and tomorrow, and then I'm gone. I'm going on vacation from Wednesday through.
Or
I'll be
send
back
me the
next
contacts
Tuesday.
and I can,
So you know what, I think that it's fine, we're gonna need a little bit of staff to set up tables, we're gonna need
where are we
a little
doing
bit
it
of
in the
breakdown,
park? I
but
know
I'm
it's
gonna
a
get
big-
volunteers to do a lot of
They
the.
can't. Staff has to set up tables and those things.
Oh, so we can't have volunteers doing setup, or?
No.
Okay,
You mean just
Staff needs to do
making the
that.
tables
Yes.
table shaped, but the rest then.
Right, we'll
can
set up the
set
tables, if
up.
you need to move them
Alright, I just wanna
around,
make
that's
sure
fine,
we're talking about the
we
same
need to
thing.
take the tables out, set them up,
Okay.
chairs.
get them close to where you
There's
need
gonna
them,
be a
chairs,
couple
so I need a
chairs.
plan.
Yeah.
You need
yeah.
to map.
I'm working on that, I have
And then I
that.
need to know, do you want people to stick around that day during the course of the event, to empty the garbage cans, to do those things, you know?
I'll probably need a couple guys who can do a little bit of garbage, there's not gonna be a lot of garbage. I'll need some refilling of the thermoses, and probably we need the electrical set up.
Yeah,
Lock
power's
doors,
an issue.
lock the doors and when
Open
you're
the
done,
doors.
those type of things. Restrooms, you never know, some people have accidents in there, some
Yeah.
people get sick, things happen, you
Yeah.
kinda need staff.
We need a little bathroom coverage so
We're
people
not
can.
that staff.
What?
We're not the bathroom cleanup staff.
You not?
No.
I thought that you guys did everything.
And the power situation too, we need to.
Yeah, we need,
Coordinate.
I don't know right now if any of our exhibitors want power, I have made that a special ask, they have to request it.
Right.
Did he request it in that one?
So I'm sure Tara's gonna need it.
No.
Actera will need it, that's right.
Yeah.
Or they
We're a
might,
12 by 12 foot area, the logo on the website and the logo on print
Right.
presence.
But that's what I could really use from you is kind of
A map.
a map of, Actera's gonna be here, they need an 8-foot table, they need 3 chairs, and they need power.
right, well, that's what I'm
And
doing this week, I'm
that's what I'm
cementing
gonna
down what
need.
people want, yeah.
You know, a good couple of days before the event, I can meet with staff, I can make sure that everybody knows, and then I'll give you contacts, so during the day, I need this, boop, 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 hey, where you at? Can you
Great.
come over here and help me, you know?
Alright, so the last thing that I know that we wanna do is an idea that Janet had, which was a crayon initiative. You wanna just,
Can I
Let's-
finish up with Steve really quick?
oh yeah,
When do you need the map by?
It'd be nice to have it at least Tuesday or Wednesday before the day of the event, sooner if you could,
Oh,
but
yeah,
that would be
absolutely.
like drop dead,
Good.
you
And
know,
then-
and are you gonna be on lawns at all? Do we need to quit watering lawns? So,
Yeah,
you know
we
what I
might
mean?
not
I
want
just
that.
need to
That's
know that,
right.
cause those are the kind of things that spell disaster when you're out there and all of a sudden you're slogging through
That's what I brought
like
up.
the lawn got watered in the morning and here you are out there trying to do something. So, you know, think of those kind of things in the, in the park that you're gonna need.
okay,
And then can you schedule, it sounds like at least 2 staff members?
Well, we have one there that's basically no cost because he's there anyway.
Right.
Andre, we have 7-day-a-week coverage in the park now. So I've got one there, it's, yeah, but usually when you're bulking tables and
Yeah,
stuff
you
like
need
that,
two guys.
you need to.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's, you know, one thing about our staff, since we went private contract and stuff, it's relatively inexpensive. You'll be surprised, it doesn't cost very much.
Can you go ahead and book that then?
I don't know, you know, what do we need? I'm
Well,
not quite
definitely
sure.
2
2
people.
people, the event starts at 1 o'clock,
So be,
so we want them at 11, 2 hour prior for setup.
Minimum.
yeah, I want people to come in around
What time is it?
noon to be able to start setting up their exhibit, so I want us to be
Yeah.
done with the table set up by noon.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
probably,
I mean, I'm just,
11 to noon for this table setup, and then,
well, depending on how many people we have, how many exhibitors we have, we may need more than an hour to set up tables and chairs. 'Cause I
So
need
they're
to
gonna
work-
need to stay till 6?
I don't think we
yeah,
need more
till
than an hour.
6.
Okay.
Not from what I've seen, an hour will be fine,
Okay.
yeah.
11 to 6, Steve.
So there will be some overtime involved, not too much. Okay,
Okay.
I think 2 staff's a good call for the first one.
I
We
think
don't
so.
know how big it's gonna be out, you know?
Yeah. Okay. I can probably let you go unless there's other
Mhm.
things. I mean, it's really good to have you here because we need to think about all those details.
I have a
Okay.
question about the
Well, like I
lawn.
said, the main thing, if I get that plan and then,
Yeah.
you know, let me know what you want me to run after as far as mulch, if you want a banner up. We can put the banner up at the entrance to the park as soon as you get it to me.
Just assume we want the
I mean, if
banner
you get
up.
it tomorrow, I can get it up for you.
We should get it.
And then,
Mm-hmm.
other than that,
We also want the
Yeah, we can.
posts on the
Should.
circular driveway to be taken down so that
Don't even have
people
it.
can do a drop off.
Don't have it.
Bring in and do a drop of their student, if they, well, we'll see if we get the students.
we normally don't allow that because we have a path crossing there, and we usually don't allow that.
Based off of
I mean, they can drive in and do the drop off in front of the pavilion, they have that rounded area there to make the turnaround. That access is kind of staff access.
Or we'll give you the full plan when we have a better sense.
I have one more question. So for the lawns, and you were talking about the lawns getting kind of soupy, they already have a sensor, so if it rains, it gets shut off, right?
No,
Okay.
I mean, we're getting one put in, actually on the next upgrade, but we don't have a water sensor now.
Oh, really?
No.
I'm surprised. Okay.
We have hit button in case of rain switch, which
Okay.
does the same thing,
Okay. I
but,
guess if you have someone there 7 days, then they can take care of it.
so, but, you know, rain, let's hold on.
All right, well, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much, that's great.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay.
It's still here. The agenda.
You hot enough?
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
I took your agenda, but this, is this,
Just went up.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the next one.
We talked about a little more on advertising maybe, outreach.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
you're
we're
the
having
marketing advertising subcommittee. Do we wanna do anything more? What else are we gonna do just to, you know, now that we have to advertise the event? I think this is a good time to start doing it, cause any sooner and people won't remember it.
You could put it, I guess, in local businesses if you have like a little poster.
Oh, I did hang a few flyers around at various places as I was walking around.
There's the one in my neighborhood that everyone looks at by the post box. You have
Which
like a
one?
little like town information stuff that gets.
In Lindenwood?
Yeah.
Where?
It's by the one.
There's a couple of town bulletin
Yeah.
boards. I
You
didn't
could put
know
'em-
people actually looked at it.
They do. I actually see people when they're walking their dog or they're
There's
walking their
one
kid.
also on Selby Lane and.
There's like 5 or
Atherton
something.
Yeah,
Avenue.
we have a few. I forgot the locations.
Mhm.
But that would be good to put that there
Yeah,
because
it's
it's
the town
it's
bulletin
colorful and
Sure.
then people will see it.
I see people looking at.
So
Yeah.
how many are there and do we need more flyers for that then? So let's design a town, the event flyer, and let's get those up at, I know there's one in Selby Lane and Atherton Avenue.
I know MCE knows all their locations because we've had them post stuff out there before.
Let's make sure they're all, you know, right here, and this store, and
The library.
the library and all those places. And I guess the question would be, are we gonna do small ones or bigger ones or?
I would do ones you could put in the window of like a Starbucks or
Yeah.
a bagel.
Well, those
place.
are just regular flyers. I
Yeah.
went around with my double stick tape and I put about half a dozen up in different places.
Well, I think that on the kiosk would be fine.
Yeah.
But kiosks, you need
You just need push pins.
push pins,
Yeah.
right? I'm done. I'm out of flyers. So are we gonna print some more?
Do you want to print more student flyers?
Or
No,
create
I
new
don't want the
ones.
student flyers. I want
Right.
the
I think
Event-
next would be the
event
next.
flyer.
Yeah.
So we need to get an event design
I'll work on
done.
that today.
Okay, work on that. I can easily adapt this one and change the wording, but it might be confusing if it's the same look and then different words. But let me see if I can. Yeah, why don't you work on that too? And all right, and then we just have to nail down who's going to be doing what and what their needs are, and whether or not. So what I'll do is I'll also combine the mailing list that Judy created and the new names that I have, and I'll send out. I'll sort of flog the schools and see if they're getting anybody to sign up.
And are you gonna do the sign up to work or?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna do a sign up genie so that right now the only volunteer positions I know are, you know, loaning thermoses or coolers so we can put some drinks in coolers, and then selling baked goods for, 1 hour slots, and baking. Is there anything else that we can have volunteers help
Well,
with?
somebody probably needs to help check in and tell the vendors where to go. And
True,
That could be
okay.
that could be a committee member with a map.
I
Check.
think I did that last time.
So, the vendors will all get the map
Great.
and information by email.
Good.
Because I'm assuming we're in touch with them by email.
Yeah.
Although, what you would need to get me is whoever from Cal Water or PG&E we should be in contact with. Because once that map is done, it'll get sent to them electronically. And in prior years, I gave them actually like a folder with information, but I don't know that we need to do that now.
Probably
'Cause
not.
everything is more email. Okay.
Yeah.
So there'll be a map, and there'll be a setup information page. Just come at this time, set up, and here's where your location will be.
And then please move your vehicle to this location or something.
Yeah. So what do we want to think about in terms of parking? Do we want people who are vendors to not park in the parking lot, so people who are
Yeah,
residents?
and make them more convenient parking for.
Well, where do they park then?
Yeah, and do we want to?
They would park over by the.
I mean, we've got the Caltrain station here if they wanna like,
Well, I don't think we're gonna need that much.
what? Where do, then,
You want to park? You want?
Can they park on the, they can't park on the street there, can they?
not on Watkins, no.
Yeah, we don't really
What's
have
the-
any good.
near the city manager's house. What's that area called? The other lawn. Just
The
park over
North
there.
Meadow one?
In North Meadow. Yeah, just park in that area, right?
So it was still in the park,
Yeah. Yeah.
like the first parking lot, as soon as you turn in.
Oh, so move the
Right to
cars
the
to the
left.
first parking lot,
Yeah.
and so people who.
Well,
Because
yeah,
everyone's gonna try to get as close as possible. Turn around, go back
Oh.
again, right?
Yeah. Okay. So we'll put that.
We just
We'll
need to
figure
work
that
on
out.
that. Yeah.
Parking.
We want to do that to the vendors, or we wouldn't want to do that to the residents? The residents are probably more likely to park somewhere else than the vendors who have to schlep stuff.
Well, the vendors can come drop off, and then
Okay.
they should move the vehicle to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make it also friendly for them so they'd want to come back next time.
Okay, so we'll figure that out because we have to figure out the location and give them a whole set of information. The other thing is we definitely need to get logos going and on the website. So we have at least one,
Okay. So they
And-
need to send us their logo.
and Roycology and PG&E and all those groups could start going up there. Is that something that you can handle, or do you want me to send you clippings of logos, or what do you
oh,
want?
I can locate logos,
Okay.
that's easy enough.
Or just
Okay.
email them for.
Yeah, if I can't find a
give-
logo,
give you
then,
their logo.
Yeah, just grab a logo from the website even
Yeah.
if you need to.
exactly.
Okay. All right, so you're gonna take care of getting logos on. Okay.
And I think it needs to be on the flyers.
That would be nice if we
It
could get.
says standard logo print presence.
Yeah, you know what? So I think having it on the flyer is a great idea.
Well, yeah, but if we do the flyer this week, we only have one logo,
only have-
right?
No, you
Well,
have
whoever else you have
PG&E and
confirmed.
Recology and
Ecology. Are they spending? Does this cost money
what?
to be a logo?
No, it should be for anybody who's a sponsor.
Okay.
People
yeah,
who
sponsor costs money.
people who
So is PG&E and Recology sponsors, or are they just coming? I don't know. If
they
Teresa
should
talked
be
money.
sending they should be sending a form back and sending money. Those guys should send a couple thousand if nothing. If not,
Yep. What she said to them.
I know Cal Water
And I
came
have
last time when we did it,
right.
and PG&E was a no.
There you
I
go.
don't remember if they only had.
Mm.
They don't make enough
Make a
money.
great team.
Right.
They usually do
There's the,
sponsor.
yeah, we show up and then there's the sponsor. So
Yeah,
I
let
think we
me-
just need to confirm that.
Yeah, let me get back to this, because this is where I got my PG&E check.
'Cause I'd
Cal
still
Water
like them to
Hero.
show up if they're not willing to sponsor, but then we don't put their logo up.
Payment. All right,
Okay.
I'm ready.
What about the movie?
Yeah.
Yes, is the movie on?
Yeah,
or not?
so that's another thing I need to follow up on. I have had numerous exchanges with PAC, and I will try and confirm that this week if they are going to handle it. Otherwise, we're doing it in the pavilion, but that was our backup.
And it's that Thursday night?
I'm hoping,
It's on the 19th.
yeah, and that should be on the flyer. But let me confirm when that's a big thing. PAC confirmation. Okay.
So we'll need, and were you thinking 7 o'clock shut time or 6 o'clock?
I think we should probably do it at. What do you think? 6? Well, let me see what I can find out about the PAC, and then we'll confirm that because
Okay, because if it's gonna be at the pavilion, I need to make sure it's set up properly.
Maybe 6 or 6:30 to give people time to commute.
Maybe 6:30.
I think you had the route reserved.
I've already reserved.
Or 7
Thank you.
Design.
But the streets roll up at 9, so I'm
Yeah.
all for 6:30.
And the council
Well,
approved.
Each of the streets roll up at 9 o'clock, so I'm all for 6:30.
Oh, 6:30, I see, okay.
So sort of like the people who are working could come, and also the people who are retired won't feel it's too late,
Okay.
who are older and retired.
And are we having any food at the movie? Because a lot of older people, I'm sorry to say this, but they come for the food.
It's true. Yeah, we'll definitely have snacks, but we won't have a lot. It'll be something light if we're gonna do the movie. Light snacks.
It'd be like a concession.
Let's, concession.
Because you can charge for your stuff.
No, I don't think they come to buy their snacks. They come
No,
for
they
free
come
food.
for free.
Free food, yeah. And so to figure out if we're gonna, how we're gonna advertise that separately, or if we're not.
We'd have to probably do it separate. Otherwise, I think it get kind of lost on the
Yeah.
flyer. There's going to be a lot on there. If there's mulch.
It's
and-
already gonna be a lot
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
this
but
one.
what are you gonna do, have another poster?
We're going to just be like an image of the movie and the night and kind of come.
What about the banner? We also have to design the banner. And,
Could we just use the logo and the date? What we're calling it and the date? I would keep it.
Client Earth Action Fair, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
I missed out on that part.
Yeah, just simple.
Yes, I would go simple
Do you have time to?
because
Yeah,
it's
not much
easier to see.
information.
And if
Yeah,
you're
mock
driving
something
by
up.
or whatever, you can't have too much on it anyway.
Right, and then the date.
well, but I think we might wanna have the movie on there, showing of Pandora's promise at such and such on such a date. But,
Yeah, that could work.
When we have that confirmed.
yeah, when we have that confirmed, which is,
I just don't know how much lead time there is on the banner. You think you can get it quick, but I
I
don't know,
think Jeff can probably get it produced pretty quickly.
like a couple of days.
do you use the,
J&N printing,
which one?
J&N in Menlo Park,
Oh,
they do majority of our
hmm.
large ink printing projects.
J&N.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that group. You don't use quick signs or whatever they're called
No.
in Redwood City?
I think PD also uses J&N. We have used fast signs in the
Fast signs, that's it,
but
yeah. That's the one I have
we
used.
find that J&N is a little bit more less expensive
Okay.
and
In Menlo Park?
hmm and they deliver and
Alright, so we just need to lock down the time of the movie. And what was the other thing we needed to lock down? The sponsors for the flyer. Cause I'd like to get little logos on the flyer if we can, that would be, cause otherwise they're gonna say, what did you print? I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Well, the day of the event, we'll have maybe a map of, or a list of vendors or something, right?
Right,
Logos.
so just to confirm, the Earth Action Fair is on May 22nd from 1 to 5,
yeah,
and that's going on the banner. And then
it's Atherton 2020 Earth Action Fair, yeah. But you don't need to have the name written out, I think the
Just use the
logo.
logo.
Just this,
Yeah.
if there's room.
logo plus Earth Action Fair, and then we're also considering adding the movie night on the same banner.
Um,
I'm trying to
on the
picture
banner,
this.
yeah, cause I don't see how else we'll advertise that movie without it being on the banner, but
Well, is something going out from the city too to everybody?
well, we're gonna have the like Teresa's
e-blast.
weekly,
We can do the
yeah,
e-blast.
blast, that will be one way, and then I think we'll try and, I guess that this is where we have to decide, are we gonna send like a postcard or maybe a page that's folded with information about this event to the whole town and print something nice, and that could go out.
And how much does that cost?
It's
Is it $1,000?
$430 to mail, and it's about $1,200 to print. For I think townwide thereabouts.
I think that might be worth it just because, is that for a card or is that for a full page?
Postcard.
For a
So we
postcard?
just did one for Marsh.
Yeah, it's like a half of an 8.5
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
11.
I don't know that that's gonna be enough.
I mean, we can send.
What is the difference to send a postcard versus like a page folded and mailed
Mailing
in a,
costs,
in
there
a-
is no real difference. It's printing costs, and to be like, all honest, off the top of my head, I don't recall because we do so many
Mhm.
printing projects that I can look and get that information to you today to let you know.
Because I think we might need two sides of a page even to cover everything that's going on, but maybe one side, but,
No, but even the postcard, the little marsh thing has like a whole map and all that,
Yeah.
and color on the front, and then the back it has like little
Bulleted.
all the stuff that's gonna happen.
I know, it's just a
I
question of
think
fitting it
people
all on.
read those.
I read those and the other
Before.
ones end up in my recycle.
So you think postcards better?
I like
Yeah.
postcards. I actually almost always read the postcards and almost always recycle the other thing.
Yeah,
Me
you
too.
can get a lot of info, because you have really 1.5
Yeah, because
sides.
really,
It's like that big.
And
But
then
you
half-
need to reserve like a half of one side for the mailing side.
not even like a full half.
It's like
All
a
it is
third.
usually is it'll say like Atherton resident here. We'll have our postmark there,
They have-
and then all of this can be used for
Okay.
So
more
we could
advertising.
use 2/3 of the back,
Almost, yeah.
essentially?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
From
push
the
it
whole
forward
front.
or whole front.
I just think you have like graphics and other things in your side.
And so how long does it take to get that? Because we don't have to do anything, right?
Yeah.
It gets printed Atherton resident, we don't have to stamp and stuff.
No, we don't have to
Just
stamp. We
send
don't
it
have
to
to
the
stuff.
printer with the
Yeah, all we do is we
directions.
send the final draft to the printer. He'll print them. He'll deliver them to me. I then deliver them to the post office. The post office then mails.
Close by.
But is it, it's
But how long
right
does
now?
it take him to do it?
Yeah,
To do the printing,
Yeah.
I'd say 5 days maybe, but
We
we
might
can
be able to make it faster.
So, you know,
exactly.
I also
But
have
then
a
There's
printer.
usually fees involved when we need a rush job, but
and then the postal's delivering it as first class mail, not as postal rate, right?
correct. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so
2 to 3
then
business days.
a couple
Usually
of
it's
days.
usually 1 to 2 because they're coming from Bohannon and Menlo Park just to us.
All right, I'll work on the postcard design.
Okay.
Do
Okay.
you want help with that?
Sure.
Well,
And we
the
got
sooner we know the vendors, then
the
the
sooner we know the
sponsors
vendors, right?
and the movie.
So there's a little bit of a backlog, but I think
But I think if we have
I
it
don't
done by
have
the
any
end of this
toddlers
week, it
here.
might be good.
Yeah.
and I
Might
don't
still
have
work.
my other projects, so I'm much freer.
That's-
All I have is a grandpa.
Yeah,
I have
that's
to take
the
care.
goal at the end of the week.
End of the
yeah,
week,
So
okay.
we can get going
To
on
get
it.
it hopefully done
Otherwise,
to the
this
printers.
is all for naught.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is the date of the end of the week? This is May 2.
May
so
6th?
May 6th, okay. 6/6. Oh, 5/6. Okay. That's actually plenty of time to get a postcard and.
Well, confirm movie,
Well,
confirm sponsors,
Right.
that we
Yeah.
get logos.
Yep.
Well, I mean, okay, so if we get our postcard done on Friday, we can hopefully get it by that Wednesday. That gives him 3 days. And then the movie is that following Thursday.
Mhm.
Is that all sound
Really?
right? Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Well, if we get it to him,
Yes, so we get it to him Wednesday, it gets mailed the 12th, 13th, and probably the 14th.
why would it take us so long to get it to him?
Well,
We
'cause
can
it-
get it to him end of day Friday or first thing Monday morning.
correct, but it does take time to print.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
then he'll have it back.
So
to
let's
you.
try and get it by Thursday.
I got you, then he'll have it back to you
Let's try and get it
Wednesday.
done by Thursday.
Okay.
Okay,
Then we can get it to him
Right.
Friday, and he can maybe have it
yeah,
printed earlier in the week.
And that's what I'm hoping.
Okay.
yeah, okay.
I'll get in touch with him today
Okay.
and
Yeah, so you
see,
can
and if
schedule
there
it.
isn't, if he's not able to meet, our dates, then I'll look at other vendors.
That sounds good.
Cost wise, I mean, do
I
we
think
have
we're
a?
well below our budget.
Oh
right?
yeah, I understand that, but what do you want to budget for this project?
What do you mean?
What do you want to budget for this postcard? Because like I said, I mean, usually I think it was $1,200 for printing, $430 for mailing.
So 1750 or something.
Yeah, usually when you do a rush job, there's another fee attached. So I don't want to say
Well,
yes to something
I
that's
have
going
a
to
print
cost.
vendor who doesn't charge a rush fee, so
Okay.
let me know if what his fee is, and I can try and get a
Okay.
competitive quote even. Okay.
And that's for color?
And this is including like a test print and the final.
Yeah, like a draft,
Okay,
and then
alright,
yeah.
okay.
All right, that's gonna be a rush.
Um,
I'm kind of surprised it takes as long as a week. It's usually like 48 hours to get it out.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, and I'm not sure.
well,
I'm
let
not
them know
knowing.
we have time.
Oh no, I know.
I'm not saying
Yeah, I
such
don't
thing
have a
for
good
you.
answer to that.
Time does start to get compressed towards the end, that's for sure.
And do we already have somebody online to rent tables and chairs and stuff from?
Well, we have got tables, we've got chairs. The only thing that we were considering renting were the thermoses, but we might be able to.
How many tables do we have?
We have tons.
Really?
Over there? Oh yeah.
Okay.
For
Are
sure.
there weddings and everything?
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
we
we've got
should-
tons of
okay.
tables.
Cool.
Tablecloth we wanted to rent, and
Tablecloths we
then
wanna rent, and we gotta
and-
decide the color, probably
Green.
green or blue, but,
Okay, so good, so.
Color.
Don't
So
like
far, we
forest
don't have a lot
green
of
or-
expenses.
I was thinking something maybe a little brighter than forest green, but I don't
kettle
know.
green.
Well,
Do we want,
Whatever's close to
Oh,
that, probably.
whatever is. Okay.
Sometimes it's whatever's available, cause it's
Sometimes
wedding
it's
season
Kelly
as
green.
well.
Not me.
Kelly green might be nice, or
A bright green,
a
yeah.
bright green, I mean, greens are,
Something cheery.
some
that
greens
you
are
can
nice
notice.
and some greens are hideous, so just find a nice one.
Should I look into renting thermoses, or do you think we'll have enough donated or borrowed?
I think for water coolers, you might need to look into renting them, or they're not very expensive too, but, we should probably have, you know, good clean ones, not like my kind of scuzzy ones that have been serving dusty Little League fields for a decade now. So that would be good, and we probably need like 4. But I don't know. I have no idea what kind of crowd we're gonna get. All right, so we're getting in there. We're getting down to the wire here. Anybody else? Any ideas for other vendors? I mean, we're kind of. We'll need to figure out the Tesla setup, but I'm gonna do that Wednesday, and then permeable pavers. Solar City, were you gonna contact? You were gonna contact another solar company?
SunPower?
SunPower.
SunPower. Did you contact them?
I did, but I haven't heard back,
Okay.
so I
That's
will call.
surprising. They'd be jumping on it.
I know.
So Solar City turned us down?
Did anybody contact Solar City?
No.
Okay.
I didn't have a contact. I'll go look into that.
Okay. I'm gonna follow up on this. Yeah, SunPower, you did, permeable pavers. Who was it, the one who had that?
I want to say Mayor Lewis.
Okay.
That sounds vaguely familiar.
Yes.
All right, so, Sustainable Silicon Valley didn't contact. And the chicken one. Oh, and bees, you had wanted to contact bees.
Well, I've got a contact, my bee man won't do it.
Okay,
I mean, he said he doesn't give speeches, so
okay.
he doesn't want any more business, I guess. And there's another bee man that we've used at the garden club, but he is so expensive, I hate to even have him there. I mean, every time he comes, it's like $1,000 a month, well, that's ridiculous. I mean, nobody's
Wow.
gonna pay for that. So I do have a contact of a bee man that's speaking at the garden club on the next Wednesday. So I was gonna ask him then.
Okay,
I don't know
All right.
who it is or if they're even good, but if they are good, I might ask them if they'd be willing.
There's a person, I think, who sells honey. It's on the Redwood City side. I want to stay up on Stockbridge. You go on the other side as well. And they have like the honor system. You can actually get. I'll look it up for you.
that's right, Hero is Pace Financial, that's
Well,
what it is. They're a
yes.
Pace
I don't know if
financing.
it's the same person or a
That's-
different person. I don't want to be redundant, but I wanted to be helpful.
Only 2 bee people I know are the ones I have, which are much cheaper, and then this other guy who goes all over Woodside. and-
That's pretty cool.
Right. All right, so I'm gonna be able to, now that I got the school stuff all distributed, now I think I'll be able to follow up on all these vendors, so.
Okay,
And
did you
and
want
I'm gonna do,
anything done with the crayon initiative or not?
well, do you wanna do that? I mean, that would be yet another thing to advertise on this thing, bring your crayons. Which I know, you know, we're not specifically targeting little kids, but we are gonna have Bounce That House or something like that there, so.
Have we got it?
I have the list from Elizabeth with a bounce vendor, so I think we're gonna have a bouncy house. I mean, that seems like an
That'll be
obvious
That's a
thing.
huge draw for kids.
Yes, huge
And it gives
draw.
the parents just a second to
Right.
let
To
them bounce
look,
and they
yeah.
can actually.
Oh, and I'm gonna have volunteer, like, kids sign up, or somebody who will take care of kids for some slots, so that the parents can do the Tesla, test drive.
Did we wanna have farm animals or not?
But we do want some entertainment, we have to decide what the entertainment is gonna be, so,
On the bouncy house, just make sure that's on the map for the power for Steve.
right, right.
They don't need power. They usually bring generators with their bounce houses.
Really?
That's what they've done in our house.
Oh, okay.
They
Well,
bring a
then
generator because
either-
it's blowing.
Either specify that
Yeah.
they have a generator or show
Or
if they need
feeding
power,
power,
let us
yeah.
know that.
Well,
Okay. Might cost more. They need a generator.
Okay, and we did want some kind of animal there. So let me look into that. Okay. Alright.
Is there a local 4-H club?
What about Hidden Villa? Do you think they might help us out?
I don't have any contacts into them these days. I had a while back. Do you have any contacts?
I can try. I just got my son into going to summer camp there,
Yeah.
so I was thrilled.
Why don't you see if they'll do a park event and bring some of their animals, because they do have,
I think they have a traveling, like a small.
if they
batch of
have
that.
it, that'd be great. And then they could be a sponsor or
You can
promote
have
their,
flyers about, yeah.
they're an
Yeah.
outdoor group, so they're
Yeah.
very environmental.
That'd be good.
Okay,
Something
good,
crunchy granola, but positive.
Yeah.
great. Alright, lots of things to.
There's like
do
many,
there.
many things.
Yeah.
And you wanted the gray water contact potentially?
Yes, that would be nice to have if you could get that. And you're trying to find geothermal, right? Okay. Alright, that's all I have. Anybody else have anything they want to add to this? I think I need to get to work. Anything else come to mind? If Elizabeth has some input that she wants to pass along, can you distribute that? And,
Well, she was gonna talk to, Woody's Apple Butter,
okay,
and then she was also told us about a French bakery.
French bakery. Interesting. If you get any student things, let me know like right away, cause as far as I know, you know, nothing has come in yet, and it takes a lot of flogging to get that to happen, so, and I'll send this list.
It should come in on May 10th.
True, by May 10th, exactly.
Who turns things in early?
You know, you're right about that. Maybe I should stop worrying and see what happens on the 10th. Yeah,
Freak out on the 10th.
freak out. Well, it's not gonna be freak out. There's either gonna be like,
Pleasantly surprised.
there's probably gonna be like none, but that's okay. All right. Okay, I gotta get these notes into better shape.
When are we meeting again?
All right, I think that's all I have.
I thought we had a meeting next week sometime.
Are we
I don't
gonna?
have anything scheduled.
Oh,
Really? Don't we?
I swear I had something going.
Well, did
Maybe
the
not.
meeting I wasn't at, did you talk about having a meeting?
No,
No. But we need one, I think.
we definitely need one.
Yes.
We probably want to have weekly now up until the event, just to
I've got one
Good.
next Monday
schedule.
The 9th?
at 1 o'clock.
I think that's our regular scheduled.
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect,
Oh.
perfect.
Oh, we haven't had one of those in so long.
Yeah, I think
Wow,
that's
it's
already
like been-
scheduled.
Couple months. So next week at 11. One.
Next, the 9th, at 1 o'clock. I mean, that's what I've done.
So that would
You
be
good.
5, 9 at 1. And do we want to schedule a special meeting for the week after that, which would be
16.
the 16th? I think we do. Just let's get it on the calendar if we can. Rather than assume when Elizabeth and Jasenka can come, do you want to send around a time scheduling
I
thing?
think Jacinka's afternoon, is that what you said?
She prefers later afternoon, yeah.
You
It
wanna-
can be the 16th or the 17th, although I don't know, does she say Wednesday is better for her?
I don't remember. I can't do Wednesday. Well, in the afternoon I could.
do we wanna say 5:18 at, oh, that's just a few days before the event.
Right.
I think we need the
The
Monday.
16th or the 17th.
Yeah. Let's just do the 16th and then,
Okay,
At 4?
4:00.
It'll be the special.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot more things to pull together.
Alright, so you'll take this
For sure.
and scan and email that. Or,
To everyone.
okay,
Yeah, the one on the 16th is at 4.
4 and
Okay.
you book the room.
Yep.
You're on the inside.
Okay.
Okay, meeting adjourned.
Meeting adjourned.
Thank
All in
you.
favor? Aye.
Bye.
Thank you very much.